Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's quite early, but that's me. 4:06 in the morning. The little piece that I took gave me enough sleep. I'm trying to. I'm not gonna dope myself up like a fucking elephant and shit. But and sleep all day, all the fucking time, like my roommates. Really, is just one roommate. That's just ridiculous. Like it's annoying already because she's always in bed. You don't know if she's asleep or awake, and everybody's like tiptoeing around and shit. But the other roommate, she's pretty fucking cool. The one that I was fighting with, that's probably why, because we're both strong women. Not that the other one isn't, but I'm just saying. I just woke her ass up. She likes, hey, she'd wake me up for a fucking cigarette or a lighter. So I did the same thing to her. I was nice about it and sorry because I looked everywhere for a lighter. I couldn't find no fucking lighter. The candles are burned down. She's been burning those white candles, two white candles, and she has a religious card by it. I felt so bad for making fun of her. Or whatever. She was being a bitch. You don't fucking act like a Christian. You're gonna be a cunt. I don't want to fucking treat you the same way. What the hell? Make it like this, yeah. Whatever. And you're being a total bitch. Not living up to fucking God's expectations, driving everybody fucking crazy. But she's gotten better, and I put my foot on, and I guess that worked. And I made up what I didn't mean half the shit I said. I was angry. But I feel bad, of course, and I didn't want to wake her up. God damn, I'm tired of tiptoeing around all the fucking time and shit. It's my room too. I'm out here most of the time because out of respect, out of let them have their space for her. And that's another reason why I don't want to put a program. When they're at a program, I get my space. Like when the kids would go to sleep, or they were supposed to get a fucking sleep. Jesus Christ, I hate my sister. Oh, I just remembered something. Another secret I didn't tell that pissed me the fuck off. Little Harold's hanging out with us. All the kids know we smoke pot. It's my family. Like pot's not a big deal in my family. Weed is not a big deal in my family. Growing up, I didn't like it. Like my son. And I hated to see my mom stoned all the fucking time, but that was different. She was abusing it. She was a fucking drug addict. Like like that shit was crack. Ignoring all her responsibilities. We gotta do laundry. We gotta do this. And then she want to tell us how to fucking do it. Then she want to change it up and say, no, you don't do it this way no more. Like where you put the socks together and roll them into a ball, and no, it's just the socks. We don't want to do it that way. I don't like it that way no more. And fucking crazy cunt. All I'm saying is that I tried marijuana when I was 8 because of my cramps. I think she gave it to me, and some beer. That was the first time I didn't like it. And I was not happy about it either. I didn't want to try it. Come on, smoke with your mommy. Smoke with your mommy. Not fucking funny and not cool. Just like the alcohol. I didn't like that either. I knew from the get go I didn't like fucking beer. And I didn't like alcoholics either growing up at a fucking bar. Ruthie's, that's now Woody's Tavern or the fuck you want to call it. Who knows what the owner is now, what it's called. I liked when it was Ruthie's and there was a hole in the wall. But I grew up in it, so that's why I would like it like that. I was 5. And what was I doing? My fucking homework and listening to the jukebox. And there's a song like there's a tear in my beer. I always liked the fucking song. And I found it not too long ago. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna find it again. And the other one, Lady in Red. Oh my god, that's Airways Motel, Thompsonville Club. Somebody that I knew looked like that fucking song too much. Might have been my dad. I don't know, but it was annoying. And they'd make it fun. My dad would make it fun. And there was this guy that was really cool that AJ, I want to say his name, which he's not so cool anymore, but he's cool enough. He gave me a ride from my almost once to the Metro Rail. And then he was there when I was like trying to scam some guy I met at food joint that was an asshole. I jammed him enough. I took him to Stonewall. I said, let's get out of here. I don't like this place. They broke up my parents' marriage. Let's go somewhere else. And I know that guy was listening because there's always somebody fucking listening, especially in Miami Springs. You think Hialeah is bad? And the hood, fucking go to Miami Springs. You fucking stub your toe and the whole fucking neighborhood knows. So I like no wonder I wanted to get out of Miami and some South Carolina. Are you fucking shitting me? They got him back. I love you, baby. I love you so much. I'll never underappreciate you. My hometown. So, but right up Hialeah, bitch. Nah, but so, anyways, to me, Hialeah is like a mixture, of all of the above. It's mostly Latino. And hey, the Cubans fucking worked their asses off to build that city. And I don't necessarily hate Mayor Martinez. I think he was actually pretty good. Pinellas wasn't so much better. I met the cousins at the strip club. I fucked one of the cousins. This crazy lunatic fucking crackhead bitch that I used to throw peanuts all over the ALF so that she would think it were crack. My sister thinks that's hilarious, and it was. She's like, I could only imagine them picking it up thinking it was crack. I got sold a peanut once. It was terrible. And I didn't know it was a peanut. It was in aluminum foil. When I opened it up, it's fucking peanut. They gave me a ride. I was tired, and it took so long to make that money too. Those fucking bitches. And then of course Lazaro wants to get all mad. Look, you fucking loser, you go make some money, bitch. You're supposed to flip my money anyways. You're supposed to make me look good all the time. And I'm supposed to get a break on my period. That's at least what the pimps would tell me. The real ones. Trying to steal me from him. So, anyways, off that topic. It's Sunday. Not that it's just another fucking day, right? But no, each day means something to me. It has a purpose. A purpose. Like Mondays are my day off, and I'm supposed to go do intake on my day off. I don't know about that. I might reschedule. I can do that. Oh, but you can put it off, and we could have had this done. And no, bitch, we could have had this done a long time ago, and that's not my fault. So, point being, little Harold's hanging out with us, because he always wants to be with the adults and part of the party and hangs out with older kids and shit. And apparently he doesn't know how to inhale. He knew how to inhale this time. And she passes the fucking joint to him. He goes, go ahead, hit it. He's 7. He wasn't 8 yet. Bet Tyson would like to know that, and the grandparents. I went, Corinne? What the fuck, man? Oh, I've done it before. He doesn't know how to inhale. And he's there going... So I asked him later, how do you feel? You feel all right? Yeah, I feel fine. I was so fucking, freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh, this is just wonderful. The gateway drug. But he talks up, he's so fucking bright and intelligent. I miss him so much. I miss him like crazy. Waking him up in the morning and everything about him, all his little fucking mischievousness and cussing me out and hitting me, everything. Sleeping in my bed and taking over, insisting on it, bitching at me for snoring in his face when I'm supposed to get them on the bus that day. Yeah, I don't do shit but lay around and be fat and not help you and I'm disgusting and unclean. But you can leave him overnight to go fuck your stupid plug and crystal meth or whatever the fuck you're doing, making 400 pre-rolls. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, well, this is another fucking excuse. You think we're just having fun? You think we're just playing around? I know you are, bitch. I'm not stupid. And where's the money? Why aren't the bills getting paid? Your bills, not mine? So yeah. Secret's out. She gave pop to my 7-year-old son in Somerville, South Carolina. 7-year-old son, my 7-year-old nephew. Her 7-year-old son, he was not 8 yet, not quite 8 yet. Like in another month or two. I'm not sure when the fuck that happened because I swear he was like several months away from his 8-year-old birthday. Because that happened pretty early of me being there. Early enough for me to be like, I want out of here. Let me out already. She's just like mom. She's worse. She's worse than my mom. And I didn't think anybody was worse than my mom. But at least my mom has a diagnosis and an excuse and shock treatment and whatnot, What the fuck's my sister's problem? Laziness? And she's a bitch like my mom was with my dad to her baby's daddy, No wonder he fucking left her. Or she left him. No wonder he was cheating. She found a video. She linked the video, her phone to his phone. They were cheating on each other like crazy. They break up constantly. They were together 13 years. They should have never been together. And I'm surprised he put up with her as long as he did. Because when, she was in the strip club, she could never go strip. I would never do that. That's so disgusting. I would never, Fucking don't say never, bitch, because she's fucking on the pole, The Last of Us. My brother couldn't do it. And my sister, from what I hear, wasn't very good at it either because she ends up getting raped in a hotel by some black guys. Yeah, another secret I'm gonna tell. Maybe that's why she's so fucked up. I don't know. Excuse after excuse after excuse. She was a big slut and really hooked on drugs, and that's why she aborted her first child because she was afraid that she did too many drugs. She knew when she was pregnant, just like I did, and mine's a crack baby because I wasn't ready to fucking make that decision, and I got knocked up, and I didn't know who the baby's daddy was, and I was a dancer, and I was happy with my job. Plus, I was struggling to stay clean all the time, and relapsing from now and then from because it wasn't over my stupid crazy ex girlfriend, and I was with this fucking asshole of a guy because I could not always afford my rent, and I was the only paying for everything with every relationship and worked my ass off. So those are my excuses. And I was 18. I got pregnant at 21. That's when I quit because I'm dancing on stage and wanting to stab a nigga when he touches me, my ankle or whatever, fucking my heel, my shoe. I said, this isn't normal. I'm like, yeah, I didn't like him touching me, but that was not normal. And more, I was disgusted and other feelings of pregnancy that I was like, fuck, I'm pregnant. There's no fucking way I'm not pregnant. And I didn't think I could get pregnant because my grandma kept saying, warning me that Carlos was gonna knock me up to use protection. I'm like, yeah, like it's that fucking easy. He was raping me in the shower, in my ass. That's why I didn't marry him too. But not everybody knows everything because we don't tell everybody everything. You know, we keep secrets from the kids and shit. Like whatever secrets my grandparents kept, although she told me quite enough, too much information actually. And you know, I took care of your grandfather to the very end. Grandma, I don't want to hear that. Wait, what did you do? And she's like, I'm like, ew, gross. Because my grandfather was sick, but they had a happy marriage, even if they did fought like crazy in the end. Because she was taking good care of him, and he would make her tired. She was tired. She was taking care of everybody. She raised her 4 kids, and my mom's as well, her 3 kids, and she's taking care of her sick husband she loved so much, that was so good to her, and made sure she was set for life when he passed away, and made sure that she had the deal breaker. One of the deal breakers with her, like and him, like was that she got to have lease a car every 3 years, and she always got the Dodge Aries, and they stopped making it because it was too good. and then she got trucks, and she got a van. Like her car was like she needed to have a good car every fucking time, you know. And he made sure she had it. And just in the beginning, like when she saved the children from the orphanage, and they had 2 abortions that she told me about that she regretted. You know, she used to cry about it. And she also they met. My grandfather was born in the early 1900s, and they met. This goddamn it, this is a long time ago. They were 15 years apart, and you know I'm 47. Just to think about it, and it's 2025. I was born in 78, and my dad was born in 54, and my mom was born in 59. So, you know, even now, fucking abortion is an issue, you know, and so yeah, my grandma told me a lot of shit. Like when she asked me how it was to be with a woman because she got accused in Puerto Rico of being a lesbian because she was staring at the girls too much in the locker room. She was curious, been there, done that. And I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't get catch looking. Oh my God, look at that girl's body. Oh my God, look at that girl's body. Look what she's wearing. Look at that one's wearing. You know. And I used to freak the fuck out, and it was very uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't like being in the locker room. Not because of that, but and then I seen this one girl. She had like baloney fucking for areolas, and it was like ew, gross, and hairs on the nipple, and oh my God, yuck. Just like when I was stripping, and this girl had like penises for nipples, baby penises for nipples, and she was flat chested. But she was nice though. Me and her flirted with each other during the meetings. She was a nurse. She wanted to fuck me so bad, and I didn't necessarily want to fuck her, but she was doable. So she was drunk. And so I tell my grandma how it is, and she tells me I wasn't gay. I'm not gay. You know, like, I believe you. And so, yeah, but there was something. Oh, yeah, my sister. So she's dancing in Georgia. It was somewhere. I know she was in Savannah, Georgia. I think it's where they met. And her man's from from Charleston, South Carolina. And he was a breaker. And I guess a dealer. I don't know the fuck he did, you know. He's like, all I know that she liked that he was a break dancer or whatever, and he had dreads. And man, he was so different looking when they met. And when I met him, I don't think he had long hair. I don't remember him having long hair when I met him, but I know that supposedly she introduced me because she respected my she wanted my approval, and she treated us. And we were at some hole in the wall bar and that they used to go to in South Beach, and I was like getting a break from my husband because I think he was in prison or something. I believe I was, or I was. I don't know what the fuck was going on with me at that time. All I know is that yeah, I'm pretty sure it was either yeah, it was him because I know that around the beginning of the relationship, I used to like I was really going through it because he abandoned me, and I did so much that I didn't. And, you know, like every time he, it's a long story. I don't want to talk about him or that relationship. It's irrelevant. But you know, I pulled out the like in Miami. Like I did not bite my tongue because I did the whole like interrogation shit with him and in a nice way and because he's black and she's white, you know. Although she doesn't look white because she's more Puerto Rican looking, you know. And she said too, like she's walking down Lincoln Road. She's like, I don't know what's wrong, man. You did a black guy, then also do they smell a mommy or something because they keep coming at me. And she was like, whatever, haha, so funny. So, anyways, and she'd always like invite me places or like out of obligation because I'm her sister, you know. She was not like that when we were growing up, when we were little. And um, so I asked him, I told him about that, like, well, you know, most over here, most you see a white girl with a black guy, and usually he's pimping her or he's a drug dealer, you know what I mean? Like, or both, you know? And that they don't treat the white girls very good over here as far as like interracial relationships. And this was a while back too. And I mean, yeah, it's a stereotype, but it's a pretty it's not stereotypes there for a reason. And I said what I said, and I meant it. And he swore he wasn't like that. And I mean, my sister, I guess, can't be pimped, but she could just be a total slut. And um, so that being said, she's stripping on a pole, and nobody knows this about me unless she's told or whoever else she's told. And we're playing cards on Coke because she had to get Coke, and I had a connection from downtown that I hooked my brother up with or whatever, like my crazy people I used to run to, because where I found my schizophrenic friend that gave me Seroquel that when I was trying to get my benefits and nobody really would help me. And my mom either, she had me tricked me into moving there and couldn't like took my food away and shit if I wasn't like up at a certain time. So I had to fend for myself. Unlike when it was my father and he actually did like what he took care of me. He made sure I was okay, you know? And when he couldn't, I had other people that would help me. Like this one sugar daddy I had that would just bring me medicine and give me $25, you know, whatever, and I had to do nothing. And so, uh, yeah, he gave me 3 Honeycrisp apples from Mom's Market. That's why I'm in love with Honeycrisp apples because they're so fucking good. They were enormous, and that was when they were like $3.69 a pound. I'm like, oh my god, you didn't have to go there. That's an expensive store, and you spent that on this. And like when we went there to get food, and he usually would get Cuban food, but I was tired of it, and I was embarrassed because of the way that they are, the snobs. You know, I wasn't embarrassed to him, and I felt bad for him too because I don't think he was really impressed with the food. Neither was I. Their food isn't that great, like their hot food. The chickens are good, the rotisserie chickens, but and the deli part, but that's again irrelevant. It's just part of my story. And back to my sister's bullshit. Um, she's dancing on the pole, you know, and whatever. She blames everything on her friend Christina that was like a major into the business. From what I hear though, because that girl like bought property or some shit or money to her parents or whatever, you know. And from what I hear, she grew up poor or something, you know. I don't know. She was never nice to me, and she was kind of a bitch too. But her boyfriend kind of screwed her over. But who knows who screwed over each other first? Because I was around her stupid friends. Like I've never liked her friends, and she wasn't talking about mine, so whatever. And that girl was fine though. I would have totally fucked her. She was hot as fuck, and she's there like in her panties, being wilding out because she was going through it with her boyfriend. She's married now, um, and she's really pretty. But so she was, from what I hear, she was more into like selling drugs than doing them. And my sister had this whole crew, this whole like the bunny crew or whatever the fuck. And I remember the pictures I found. I'm like, Dad, you see what your daughter's really all about? And I showed her the pictures, because I'm looking through this fucking, I'm cleaning the room and I find this photo album and I look through it, and then there's this guy, that's disgusting, like muscle building guy that thinks he's the shit, and he gave my sister like a card or something, I guess, or whatever. But he's in the picture and he has his underwear on and his legs open, and apparently Johnson was conceived in a threesome. At least that's what the fucking letter implied, Something like, remember where you got that baby from or whatever. Some shit like that. And like a total douche, Because none of her baby daddies, other than the last one, really stepped up. And Harold was planned, but the second one, apparently, according to my brother, that wasn't the first abortion she got she got an abortion from the guy. She still fucked him and then ended up getting knocked up with Jaden. Some shit like that. Because she lies to me like crazy, but she was more honest with my brother, but like doing crystal meth with my brother and shit, So, like my mom tells me that she would sneak out and leave the baby in the playpen, Jocelyn. She'd go drinking and clubbing in the bar, not tell her, and she'd get pissed off. I doubt my mom was lying about that. But my sister says it's not true. Of course. Just like the time she's with fucking Kenny, who was a major crackhead, and I was pregnant, and I didn't want him in my crib because I had money in the crib. I had money from bartending and shit stashed for the rent, and always had the rent, even though my sugar daddy would pay for it. But he wasn't even my sugar daddy, he was my baby daddy, and I was pregnant. And you want to talk shit? Because he cared about me enough to fucking come pay my rent, our rent. I'm taking care of you every time I come home. There's a fucking party in my crib, and something missing. They would steal my sodas. It's the only thing I fucking could stop me from throwing up. And I'm pregnant, and they're eating me out of the house at home. And I even let this skanky bitch that wants to talk shit that's married now, and I still think she's disgusting. What the fuck was her name? She was dorky as fuck. She was dating Louis, which was Nasty's best friend, which was David's brother, which was her first, and screwed her over with Joanna. Like, I wonder why, And I always had her back, always, and now she wants to fuck me. Fuck you too. Secrets are out. So she, like I rolled once. I won't lie. I was 3 months pregnant and I wanted to join the party too. I was like tired of this shit and everybody making fun of me and crap, and I'm treating me like I'm the grandma, just like when I'm raising fucking her kids this past year, And as soon as I took the pill, I panicked and I tried throwing it up. And I'm like, oh my God, my baby, my baby, my baby. And they're like, quick, let's walk around the block. And the guys were super cool. Like, they were the underdog guys, Just like I fucked David too. Not David, what the fuck was that name? I don't remember his name. Joanna's brother. I think my sister screwed him at one point. But he thinks he's a big, like, pimp or something now. Because my dad's running him in the strip clubs. I didn't realize he was such a loser until later. Because he was young, and crazy, and I guess he just never grew up. But he's like always like has multiple women living with him and shit, and he's fucking them all. But I helped him because one day, and I was like made fun of and shit because I was responsible. So, and pregnant. So whatever, he comes knocking at the window, hysterical, and he's in his underwear, but I couldn't see that. So I looked through the window, and this is Virginia Gardens, which is like the poor town close to Miami Springs, which I like. And he's had his prayer hands to let him in, so I let him in. I opened the door. What's wrong with you? And he said, can I please come in? Please come in. And he was all like wet and pitiful, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I knew he was crazy because he would steal checks, like he did on check fraud. That's how my sister had a lot of parties in hotels with him and other people. So, he got caught, like he was like his boss's checks or some shit. So, anyways, he was like trying to come up, and they were like going to steal something or whatever. over close to TGK, and the cops were chasing him and his friends, and he jumped in the lake, in the canal. He jumped in the canal and swam to and came to me. So I put him in the tub immediately, calmed him down, nursed his ass, hid him in my apartment. The cops came around. I still covered for his ass, and he was in there. And enough time for the parents to get him a plane ticket to New York so he wouldn't get in trouble and go to prison or jail. And that's kind of shit I had to deal with when I was pregnant. My first pregnancy, my only pregnancy, because the other ones are irrelevant, right? I was delusional. And so that being said, there was these guys there that were not normally there, and they were from the neighborhood. They didn't have much money, and they grabbed me and walked me around the fucking, took me for a walk. They were gentlemen. There was a few that were really nice. They were young kids, they weren't exactly guys. But she did do like some cool stuff. Like that was when she wasn't like too fucked up, but she was always been fucked up. I don't know what happened to her. And this is before the stripping. She'd go to work rolling in ecstasy, taking care of toddlers at the Miami Springs recreation department. And I don't know, she was too close for school because she studied photography with Joanna and David and whatnot. She took really good pictures. I take really good pictures too, but I didn't have to go to school for it. And I wanted to. It's just you got to buy a lot of film and shit, and it's really expensive. So, she one time I called her because I got knocked out of the apartment. This was the second apartment because the first apartment I told her I didn't want to live with her anymore. She talked me into it. I was tired because she was obnoxious and driving me crazy, and I was really sick then. I used to always call into work. And a lot of times I'd lie because I just didn't want to go to work anymore. I was pregnant, throwing up. I had a really tough pregnancy, especially in the beginning. Probably until I started smoking weed. But then I'll get depressed too because, I don't know, just a lot of reasons. And she said she had to leave to come let me in the house because her pregnant sister was locked out. I had groceries. And the hell if I know how I got there. And she came and let me in. I talked her into staying with me. And she got into work and told them that some excuse or something. I mean, it was, you're here already, right? And you don't have much left at work. You hate the job, stay. But she wasn't high then, that time. I just wanted to live with my dad before I moved out because I was pregnant and my dad's first. And then I got an apartment. I was making money. I was working. I never quit working until 5.5 months pregnant. And I was staying in Star Motel and I was helping out my friend Janelle, who one day I'm riding on my bicycle and she's like, that girl wanted to have sex with her so bad on the street too. She was a runaway. I was 19. When I first met her, I was 18, I think. And she was upset because Jenny didn't pick me over her. And Jenny used to cheat on me with her. And she's like mulatta and really pretty. Really pretty. And, back then, now she's normal, average. She's a lot older now with 4 kids. All I know is that she was fine back then. And she was already fucking everybody, so why not fuck me? And, but then again, that was times, I mean, not to get into that, it's kind of gross. But all I know is that I was helping her. She had Mark, his dad was a crackhead and didn't want to get clean. And she did all this, like, she was living, like, in the worst conditions in that house when she was pregnant, and she had people helping her. But she was it was a teenage pregnancy that who knows if he looks just like Mark, so I guess he is the father. But she was still having to prostitute. And she got out of it all, She went to school, they helped her, and she did the work. So, and she ran away because her mom used to beat the shit out of her, like, accuse her of having her keys, and the mom finds the keys in the tits. And she's already beat the shit out of her. she got tired of it and finally ran away. And she loved her mother. She used to talk about it all the time. Yeah, she was 14 when I met her. That would have made me probably, well, I was 18. So, and she talked shit about hers and couldn't stand her. And my sister, because she's better than everybody. And fucking, she was mad because she borrowed clothes from my sister. She needed an outfit, you know? It's like, what? Why you gotta such a cunt, you know? I took her to the mall and, not because I had a crush on her or wanted to fuck her, which we did. My sister caught us. But we had sex, like, on the street. Like, we both went with a John and it was hurting her. And I got mad and I got upset and I made him stop and I said, just do me, you know. And I told her, don't worry, I got this, you know. And uh, you know, different things like that. Like I screwed her best friend, which was pretty hot too. uh, a friend of ours hooked us up with a client or whatever, and you know, threesome shit or whatever. Like one wanted me and the other one wanted her, and we were in separate rooms. We had rules and shit, you know. And uh, so yeah, so um, I was helping her. I was in the hotel. I was pregnant, and I just found out I was pregnant. And I basically like got kicked out of my mom's apartment because I didn't come back, and because she was fucking annoying. Like I'm coming to my apartment with a key when I'm paying rent, and she's not supposed to do that. Telling me I can't bring my girlfriend in the crib, and getting mad because she finds her in the closet, uh, or like other shit. And I rented the hotel room for a minute, and I called her because I owed rent, and I was trying to make the rent, but I didn't have it. And at that point, I wasn't dancing anymore. I was waitressing and bartending and working the door at the club. And she tells me I have to pay her $25 a day late fee. I understood $25 a day, not $25 late fee. I was like, "What? You're crazy! I ain't paying you shit." So she took all my shit out of my apartment before I got there and threw me out. And then there was an argument between me and my uncle and words where I said something I didn't really mean, but it was what I thought because of my mother, that all he cared about was money. And he's like, "I'm sorry you feel that way about me. What did I ever do to you?" Whatever, on AOL, you know? And using my brother's computer at my dad's house. And because my dad let me move in because I was pregnant and I didn't have nowhere to go. And I um I got threatened because I was helping her out. I got a phone call where the person was going to kill me and all for helping her, some shit. They threatened me. So I got scared. And stupid Rachel did something nice for once. She picked Nasty's sister, my sister's best friend or whatever. And so another one is too good for everybody. She fucking gave me a ride to my dad's. And then she didn't understand why I got mad at her for sticking her hands in the fucking tuna casserole on the stove. You know, I don't want your germs inside me, bitch. I'm a baby. And I think she had a cold, you know? She was so foul. Just like throwing in my face that she spent all this money on groceries. She was working like for Tony Roma's or some shit, you know? And and my dad was letting her stay with us too. And my dad let me at that time. It was me. Well, Rachel was like came and go because she had a job, and she was already moved out when Janelli got in there. I moved Janelli in because fuck it, if you could move Rachel in, I can move Janelli in, right? And I asked my dad because I knew my dad would like her, and she was a little bit. She was definitely advanced for her age, obviously, and she had a baby and she was trying to get her baby back, or not back, but she was trying to keep him. And she was kind of like burnt out. And of course, she had him at 16, I think. And um, I don't know how old she was when she got knocked up. But he was basically 2 when I got pregnant. So let me see. All right, she was a teenager still when she got knocked up. So I don't know. Might have the math off wrong. All I know is that he was young, and some black lady, a social worker, came to the hotel room and was talking to me like, "Do you really think that this is a good environment for her?" And I said, "Yes. You don't know what you're talking about, bitch." Because I didn't say it like that, but I'm like, "Look, I'm helping her. You know, you guys aren't. You want to control her and put you on your little programs and shit. You know." And she wasn't doing drugs and she was behaving. I mean, at one point I think she had some fun because she not hard drugs like alcohol, weed, maybe. I think it was just alcohol. Cause and I saw her body, her womanly body, like difference between how she looked when I knew her at 14 and after having a child, and she still was beautiful to me. But at the same time, I was like, oh my god, like wow, what a difference. And her mannerisms, the way she talked, everything. She was a woman like way before she should have been. And um, she like I got in trouble in the motel too because Helen, which was annoying sometimes, because like come on man, it's Star Motel, and like the owner's relatives, I could get pimped off to the owner's relatives and shit, but I can't have a John in my room. How do you fucking think your rent's getting paid? Everybody else is doing it, and there's a fucking strip club on the corner. So you know she said something about how bad it looked, and because she knew my morals, just like when I would like be too hard to talk to her and hiding in the room and I had to, because like people keep calling for Faith at the fucking office and I'm not answering the phone or my sister's on the phone, I won't get it or whatever because Carlos has me cracked out a note in the room because he's hoping to have sex with me, and my baby's daddy that I would get my crack from, and uh so whatever, Janelle, I wasn't getting high. I don't know if I was pregnant yet or not. I don't remember. But all I know is that she was in my room again, noon, and I think we were hustling, and it was before I got pregnant. And all I know is we had some dude, and we wanted to take a shower first, and he was waiting on the bed, and me and her were in the shower together, and uh, somebody answered the door. I don't know who opened the fucking door, and she was like, "I know what you're doing, Vanessa." I'm like, "What? That's not your uncle." Oh, we would get the guys to rent a room sometime. So we'd have a room. And uh, and she's like, how do you think it looks? You in the shower with a 14-year-old. I know she's 14, underage, whatever. And I'm like, sorry, man. What do you want me to tell you? And uh, we still came up. We still got our money. It's like $60, I think. Hey, back then it was a lot. And I think she got hers and I got mine. She went her way, I went mine. And all I know is that she was part of the crew. We had a lot of fun. And I brought her to my dad's. And my sister was mad because one time I hooked my dad up and I hooked her up because she was getting on my nerves. She was getting quite expensive. And and my dad was like bored going, and he was bored and he was going to South Beach to party. And I told her, hey man, well, she came to the club and he was with her. He dropped me off or something at the club, I think. And he was gonna drop her somewhere or back home at the house. And yeah, because when I left the hotel, somehow we got in contact or whatever, and I let her move in. I talked to him about it. And God forbid my sister's, uncomfortable with other people living in the house. My dad too. And so, but then we got to see her, like, that's the thing. Then you get to see all her fucking secrets. Like, that she's really fucked up on ecstasy and she's coming in like this. And crawling in bed with me and all while I'm pregnant because she needed somebody to hold her or whatever, and vice versa. And that was in my brother's room that there was bunk beds still, and nobody used the top bunk because it was kind of broken still. Because that's a long story, and then something else. And we had them apart for the longest, and then they got put back together and whatever. And it's really easy. They're wooden, these little pegs that go through a hole, and you stick them on top of each other or whatever, and some shit like that. And I was in the other room that was our room growing up, next to my dad's on the other side of the house, on the mattress on the floor, and my sister had her bed. And there's another story that's really personal that I might tell sometime because I tell a lot of personal shit, but fuck it. I'm not in the mood right now. I have a point. And my dad, so I tell her, I bought her an outfit at the mall for $20, and it was like a hoochie outfit. She liked it. I was like, you want it? And, oh, it was 25. Her limit was 20. I said, I'll get it for you. Don't worry. And I was, I'm not gonna take her shopping with me, not buy her anything. That's torture. And so whatever. I was making a lot good money, and I wasn't dancing to do it either. And I was working doubles, pregnant, throwing up in the bathroom, and some girls like they shouldn't have her working here like this. And I came out and said, "Who the fuck's gonna pay for my baby? You?" And I wasn't able to save any money though, but I still was able to like feed him good. And I always liked to work, and I liked my job until I didn't. And so yeah, I told Janelle, I said, "Hey man, go with my father. He wants company. He can use company. He's going to the beach. You want to have fun, right?" And I gave her $10, and I was just starting my shift. I think it was all I had with me was $10. Fucking everybody bleeding me dry. And my dad brought me McDonald's once when I was bartending. He was proud of me for like not dancing and bartending. He was also proud of me for keeping my baby. And some cunt wants to talk shit on AOL or whatever about me working in a bar pregnant. The smoke, secondhand smoke or whatever, the environment. Hey man, it was not even a bar, it was a strip club. A full nude strip club, bitch. And yeah, so my dad was drunk with Janelle and they were being inappropriate. And my sister was pissed. She picked us up in his car that he lent her, or she took it without his permission when he was asleep, because that's how she is. And it was Illumina. He used to always get the Illuminas or whatever. And it was dark blue, navy blue. And we didn't go straight home. I convinced her. They're like, you already got the fucking car, and Dad's knocked out drunk. He's not gonna know. And he still knew, but he was worried about us. I had her go cruising. We cruised to the beach and back, and because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cruise down like Washington and whatever, and I think that's the street. So I had just got off work. I don't want to go straight home at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. It was about 5. We closed at 5, so it had to have been 5. And I think I called her to pick me up. I don't know what the deal was. I don't remember. All I know is that she couldn't stop bitching about him and Janelle. Just like she couldn't stop bitching about some supposed fat chick he picked up at the bar and was having a ball with in the house, According to my dad, she wasn't fat. And he was embarrassed. And that's another reason he didn't want his fucking kids living with him anymore. Or his stupid, crazy ex-wife with a key coming in after he bought her out. And that's why he let the house go. I understood it. And I wasn't upset. I was upset at my sister. But I'd still tease my dad a little bit because it was funny. he was like wasted, like, where an 8 5 looks like a 10. And apparently the lady was really nice, and he put her on a plane or something. She was going somewhere, and he was upset about it because my dad's he's a romantic, he's a sweetheart, he's a gentleman, even though he's a pervert. He's not a pervert. He's just, I don't know, man. Strip clubs and Playboy and Penthouse and Hustler. No wonder I loved How to Make Love with a Porn Star so much. The librarian is like, Vanessa, you've had this book a while. Like, how many times are you going to check it out? Let somebody get a chance. Somebody else get a chance. And I found it. I found it out of the closet, and I should have bought it, but I didn't have enough. And I was like trying to behave and bought something else instead. I love Out of the Closet. I wonder if it's still there. And I don't think it is, but I really liked it. Over there in Biscayne, on like 29th. They were cool. I gave them donations. I always found good shit there. I used to find a lot of my clothes there when I was living with my mother because I would hustle and couldn't afford anything else. I didn't have my check yet. So I'd go there and I could get stuff really cheap sometimes. Like 50 cents, $1. I got a fucking shirt or a dress or a skirt or something, And I got a lot of my like hooker gear and stripper gear at thrift stores. And so yeah, freaking oh, Janelle and me finally do it, and I don't even know how it happened. We were in the room hanging out talking, and next thing you know, we're like getting it on, and it was the first time I was with a feminine girl, like for real, not a stupid girl on girl show or whatever, you know. Because I was used to being like the girl and the other would be the guy. I didn't realize how aggressive she was, and I finished her, and then I thought that was it, you know. And she goes, "My turn." And I was like, "What? What? Okay." And she like attacks me, and we're like next to each other on the bed, hugging or whatever, and um, caressing each other or whatever, and fucking hey man, pregnancy makes you even more horny. and freaking, I was 3 months pregnant, and my sister walks in the room to get a notebook without knocking, and we're in the dark on the mattress on the floor. And we jumped apart like and screamed, and my sister gets a big grin on her face, and if she was not so dark, she probably would have been red. And she starts laughing, and she steps over us to get to her bed to get her notebooks, and she goes to leave, and before she leaves, before she closes the door, she goes, "Okay, I might be back," like teasing us, like that she's gonna catch us again. And also, she was like, "You're disgusting. How dare you?" And I felt guilty about it because she was underage, and I wasn't. She was 17, 17 and a half. So that would have made me 4 years older than her, or 3 years older than her, or 3.5 years older than her, something like that. Um, and uh, so yeah, I hate that shit. It's not like it was the first time that it was mutually like it wasn't like business or whatever. Finally got her, bro. Finally got her. And she was supposed to come with us, and so unfortunately, I took my sister with me instead of her. I gave her an excuse because she was 16 and too many problems, and I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want like it's Miami Springs, and I had myself to worry about my pregnancy and my crazy family to deal with it. So we went to this apartments behind by the circle. I liked those a lot too. They had a pool, but the manager was a dick. He was like a chauvinist, and like his wife was terrible. She was afraid of him. Like she couldn't even give me cat food without worrying that he was gonna like have a fit, or talk to me because he talked to me too, and he didn't like me because I'm a feminist and I don't take shit from men. Plus, I don't know what else. I used to dress really sexy, and I was free. God forbid, like I rescued his wife or him, and there was other reasons too. Like it was too expensive. So we found one that was through these people through my church of United Methodist Church, which I ended up hurting with the deposit because I should have paid them something more. And they worked with me with the deposit. I paid it little by little. And I moved in. Yeah, like I moved in with just the rent and a little extra and paid the deposit little by little. Luckily, my sister let me keep the entire deposit because she knew she owed me. She wasn't making shit when she was there. And she cost me a lot of money. And more problems because it was all her friends that were coming to my crib. I was on the lease and I was paying the bills. And my baby daddy. And she just everything was a party with her. And my I was mean to her a couple of times, especially after the abortion, when she came to me crying in the room and I said, "You got an abortion." I knew instantly. And she was like, "Yes, how do you know?" I'm like, "I'm your sister." And I told her, I calmed her down and everything, and I felt bad about it. And but later we're getting in a fight because she's being a bitch, and I said, "At least I didn't kill my baby." I was pregnant. What do you expect? And my dad was just freaking out because he was like, "I can't have two daughters pregnant at the same time." My God, what the fuck? And both of us weren't married and weren't in relationships. when we got knocked up, and so he didn't know what he was gonna do, and she told him he was gonna take her to do it, and he asked her about it beforehand, of course. Whatever they went with him, I don't know the whole conversation. That's their moment. I just know he regrets it, and I believe she does as well. But she's got 3 kids, so whatever. And she didn't help me keep mine, so fuck her. And he tells me, and she tells me that she did too many drugs. But I'm terrible, and I'm the bad guy, right? And he's like, you knew you were pregnant when you were doing ecstasy and all these drugs. So you just like were killing it inside and then you fucking killed it for real? That's disgusting to me. And it might have had a fighting chance. You never know. And even I would even take care of my retarded baby if it came out fucking. I was so worried that my kid was gonna come out fucked up, but he didn't, and I would have took care of him either way. And I mean, how can you feel that life growing inside you and then just kill it? For selfish reasons. So she back to the fucking rape. She's dancing at the club and she's taking ecstasy. The guys are giving her ecstasy, and she's so gangster and slick, that she's pocketing it. Because she told me the story. When she told me the story, she wasn't telling me. She told me the story. She was sad, obviously. Oh yeah, the coke. My hookup would give me 320s for 50, and he drove all the way from downtown to Miami Springs area, like 36. He didn't have to. We'd ride our bikes over by Virginia Gardens to 36, and we did it a couple times, and I didn't want her getting bad shit, and I was lonely and bored, trying to get disability, so I got